Good afternoon, my name is Sophie and this is my presentation about continuous personal development. Sorry, I'm not feeling the best, so my throat is a bit croaky, but hopefully you can still understand what I'm saying. So to start with, I've created a plan for the presentation. Firstly, I'll discuss continuous personal development, the HCPC standards of CPD, CPD's role, the drivers and barriers to CPD, and an authentic critical reflection, and finally, my clinical effectiveness and service development goal. So what is CPD? Continuous professional development is a vital form of practice by continuously learning for self-development to advance knowledge, skills, and services to improve patient-centered care. CPD urges professionals to monitor and reflect their own professional performance, which allows them to identify opportunities to improve as practitioners. HCPC's definition of CPD is a range of learning activities for professionals to maintain and develop their knowledge and skills throughout their careers. CPD is a registration requirement of HCPC and to keep an up-to-date and accurate record of CPD to show how their learning is benefiting the service user and ensure that they are varied and relevant to their scope of practice. So to be registered with a Healthcare Professional Council, HCPC, you'd have to meet standards. Being HCPC registered is a good thing as it ensures professional credibility, which increases trust in service users. This is also a legal requirement for working as a physio in the UK. So the standards include to maintain a continuous and up-to-date and accurate record of CPD activities, demonstrate that their activities are a mixture of learning activities relevant to the current or future practice, seek to ensure that their CPD is contributed to the quality of their practice and service delivery, seek to ensure that their CPD benefits the service user, and upon request, they should be able to present a written profile of their own work, supported by evidence explaining how they have met these standards. So these are some activities that are recognised as CPD, so information leaflets, case studies, critical reviews, reading critical reviews or undertaking them, course assignments, reading policies and positional statements, national and local processes, taking part in questionnaires, taking part in reflective practice, and peer learning. The most effective form of CPD, which was shown in a cross-sectional study, is questionnaires. In a questionnaire in the UK, with self-reflection and primary and secondary research articles. So next, the role and impact of CPD. For clinical effectiveness, it followed the 4 pillars of practice. So leadership is developed by initiative and accountability to improve safe and effective practice. Education promotes patient education to improve patient outcomes. Research promotes evidence-based practice and encourages reflective practice to ensure treatment is justified and current. And clinical practice increases clinical knowledge and ensures that manual skills are current, safe, and are safe to improve patient outcomes. Same follows for the service development following the 4 pillars. Leadership encourages quality improvement skills by supporting service improvements. Education prompts patient education with a view to reduce repeat appointments and increase self-management. Research allows critical analysis of innovations to improve services. And for clinical practice, it aids in the knowledge of care pathways to ensure that all referrals are going to be accurate and that they're going to the right place. So next is the role of CPD. So the upkeep of professional competence by continuous learning. Its role is reflective practice to identify any knowledge gaps, maintain an accurate record of my CPD that I've undertaken to be registered, and I would create a plan of what I should be doing. So next we have the drivers of CPD. So appraisals, staff development records, promotions, specialising career, advanced practice rules, providing effective and safe care for patients' outcomes and expectations, and HCPC and CSP standards to maintain registration. As a student, we have not had the opportunity for promotions or career development yet, but as a graduate, this will be all available to us now. Now, the barriers to CPD. So, survival culture in a workplace, negative learning culture, having a large caseload with limited time, lack of confidence to advance your learning, and limited budget or access. As a student, we've always been encouraged to progress with our learning, but as a graduate, this will have to be independently scheduled. Some teams may not appreciate this as it does take time away from patients. So I did my own authentic critical reflection in the form of a SWOT analysis. So for strengths, I feel like I'm confident using and finding evidence-based practice with a reflective practice, which aligns with the CSP safe and effective practice. And the CSP CPD cycle phase of review is also included in this, as I'm confident with reflection regarding what I've learned and how to use it in my practice. A weakness of mine is communication with patients to improve adherence and rehabilitation outcomes. This aligns with HCPC's communication and interpersonal skills, and also the CSP CPD cycle phase as planned, as I'm identifying what I need to know. Opportunities and using online resources to support patient engagement to rehabilitation, which aligns with the CSP's digital practice focus. And for the CSP CPD cycle phase of do, as I'm explaining what I did and how. So for challenges, transitioning from a student to practitioner regarding caseloads and clinical decision making, which aligns with the HCPC practice safely and effectively. So clinical effectiveness goal I came up with was I will improve my motivational interviewing skills to support my communication and patient education to improve self-management for rehabilitation, to improve patient outcomes in 4 to 6 weeks. So I will develop my skills in motivational interviewing techniques to be a better support to patients in adhering to treatment plans and improving self-management to improve MSK rehabilitation outcomes. To measure this, to do this, I will attend a Physiopedia online course by Plus on motivational interview, which will last approximately an hour and a half to 2 hours. It contains a video, a reading activity, and then a quiz. So I can apply these techniques to 5 patients and document the outcomes with reflection and peer feedback. For achievable, it is achievable alongside my current clinical studies, as is online and can be completed when it fits my schedule, and it is within my scope of practice for a soon-to-be graduate. So improving my communication skills is highly relevant to my role as a newly qualified physiotherapist, and it aligns with the HCPC standards for effective patient-centered care for the future. And to complete this online course and apply the techniques to 5 patients within the 4 to 6 weeks, which gives me enough opportunity to complete this during a rotational period. So this came about by the challenges element of my SWOT analysis, as patients are not adhering to treatment plans, which is putting a strain on the NHS by coming to return appointments without completing advice or exercises that have been previously given. So moving on to my service development goal, which has come from my weakness section of my SWOT analysis. So my goal is in 4 to 6 weeks, I will introduce a rehab tracking app to at least 20 MSK patients, ensuring that the correct tools in the app are available to track and complete their prescribed exercises. And then within 3 months, I will collect the feedback from the 20 patients to assess the app's usage with the aim to improve adherence and self-management of patient rehabilitation. I will introduce an already established app, such as Rehab My Patient, which allows patients to track their progress, receive reminders to complete their exercises for their rehab program. I will aim to have at least 20 patients using the app in the next 2 months, with the goal of tracking their progression and engagement throughout using the app's analysis. And I will gather the feedback from patients to assess its usability and effectiveness via a survey. This goal is achievable by selecting an already established app to use, which fits with NHS's system, Rehab My Patient. I will work with a senior physiotherapist to review this. This goal is relevant to improving patient adherence to exercise rehabilitation while empowering patients to take responsibility and will support long-term recovery. This app can be introduced to the team and be getting used within 4 to 6 weeks. And I will track patient progress and gather within 3 months to make any able and necessary adjustments based on patient feedback. So this came from my weaknesses and my SWOT analysis, using online resources to support patient engagement for rehab. And then these are my references that I used throughout. Thank you for listening to my presentation.